Normally I don't make videos like this about fashion and everything like that because, as you can see, I am not a fashionista. I wear the same couple sweaters in every one of my videos because I'm a simple girly. I like to be comfortable, so on and so forth. I don't care about fashion that much. So me talking about this topic today seems kind of out of character for me. But we have to talk about this because I saw this on TikTok the other night and I can't stop thinking about it. And it is the Office Siren trend. If you've been on TikTok lately, you've probably seen women dressing up in what's being called Office Siren fashion. Tight skirts, sheer tops showing some belly and some chest. And can we be honestly real for a second? I don't think anyone expects to actually show up to their corporate job looking like this, but there are people who do show up to work looking like this.
I must admit, I'm slightly disappointed seeing how you're dressed today.
So, I've had an email from a lady in HR about my dress attire for work. Apparently it's inappropriate. I don't think it's too bad. Hi Matt, can I have a quick chat? Are you free? Okay, basically, I had an email from Paula this morning basically saying she's not happy with what I'm wearing to work. It's like distracting.
What was she referring to?
I mean, like this dress was like an example.
I think it's appropriate work attire.
Okay, well that's the main issue, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so today is the day. I've got my meeting with Paula, help me. So I'm basically in a blazer, so she can't be mad. Or can she? It is low cut. Who cares? Let's see what she says.
I must admit, I'm slightly disappointed seeing how you're dressed today.
Okay.
Following on from the email.
I did speak to Matt and he said there was no issue.
Right, well, I haven't spoken to Matt. Really, I don't think he was in a position to say what he did. We do need to address this issue because we are having comments from other members of staff.
I don't think that's my fault if I'm distracting other members of staff. That's not on me, Paula. That's kind of on them.
The comments I've had that you're begging attention.
Okay. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, noted.
Are you going to do anything differently?
Sure, guess I will go shopping this weekend. Thank you very much for your time, I suppose.
Right.
But I feel like that's the reason why I can't stop thinking about this, because one girl actually did show up to her office job looking like this, and then she got fired. Who on earth thinks it's okay to show up to work like this? And I don't want to be body shaming or anything like that. Like, that's not the point of this video, so don't be putting some hidden meaning into my words because that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about what kind of clothing is acceptable to wear to a professional office job. So to break down the Office Siren trend even more, basically this aesthetic is what happens when TikTok decides to turn business casual into business seductive. In reality, this is not confident or powerful, it's just inappropriate for a workplace setting. No matter how much someone wants to call it fashion forward, most office dress codes would have you in a meeting with HR by noon.
Okay, I didn't think I had to say this out loud, but y'all understand you can't actually wear the Office Siren aesthetic to the office, right? Because some of your posts on this app are making me really nervous.
The next thing, super tight skirts. And not even super tight, but also just super short, where if you even bend over a fraction, your panties, if you decide to wear them, are full on flashing the whole office. Not only is this just inappropriate, but it's also super impractical, unless you just don't care about that kind of thing. But I feel like it takes more effort to try to figure out how you're going to bend down to pick up your pencil or whatever than to just dress properly in the first place. A fitted pencil skirt is totally fine at the appropriate length. I don't see anything wrong with that. But these TikTok versions that we're seeing are less corporate chic and more like nightclub VIP section. I think what's important to remember is that this is not how real offices function. If you go to an office, a lawyer's office, you do not see women walking around looking like that. They look put together, they look professional. You don't have to worry about catching a slip of their private parts at any given moment. It's a real professional working environment. You're not worrying about making seductive eye glances with your coworkers because that's not the reason you're there. You're there to do your career that you most likely went to school for and spent thousands of dollars in school on. You're sending emails, sitting in meetings, and drinking coffee that you've probably microwaved 3 separate times. Like, let's be real. The Office Siren trend tries to make it seem like the workplace is some glamorous, power-fueled runway, when in reality, most people that are there are just trying to make it to their lunch break. What I really think this Office Siren trend is just another way to reformulate the sexy secretary trope. And acting like that's a power move, spoiler alert, it's not. And another thing we need to keep in mind when we see influencers doing the Office Siren trend is the fact that they are not even going to a real office corporate job. Most of them work from home. Most of them don't even know what it's like to be a part of that setting. So they're influencing people to dress up, labeling it the office siren trend, and then impressionable, naive people who are just entering the workforce, who don't know what's acceptable to wear, think that is acceptable to wear because they're seeing it online all the time. And I get a lot of comments saying whoever falls for this is pathetic and blah, blah, blah. Those are unnecessarily rude comments, especially when you're growing up looking at stuff online. You start to think that that's normal. I'm not going to blame the viewer per se. Yes, it takes two to tango. I'm not going to blame the viewer fully for being naive. Like, we aren't going to blame people for being innocent, not thinking everyone's lying to them and all that kind of stuff, because who wants to live in a world like that? I do not think influencers who have never set foot in an office setting, who haven't really had a real job in the first place, some of them anyway, should be saying or should be influencing people how to dress going to an office. And they'll say, this is not what I would actually wear to the office. It's just the office siren trend. Why do we call it office siren if you're not going to wear it to an office? That's really confusing for young, impressionable people who are just entering the workforce. And what's the result? People thinking that they can take these runway-inspired looks and somehow think they're appropriate to wear to their 9-to-5 jobs just because they saw an influencer flashing them on TikTok.
The office siren trend will get you fired in real life. I said this on TikTok a few months ago and was absolutely roasted. It was even called boring and told to lighten up, it's just clothes. Except yesterday I logged onto TikTok and found videos of girls who lost their internships and their full-time jobs because they decided to emulate the office siren trend in real life. And I know I wear a lot of neutral colors, but you can swap any of these out for brighter colors if that's your palette. The outfits that I share will never get you called into HR for clothing, and they'll make sure that you're nice and comfortable while offering versatility.
We're going to watch some of these office siren videos, and I want to know what you think. Do you think this is acceptable to wear to the office? Do you see any problems with it? And then at the end, we're also going to feature an HR rep saying whether or not she would have a conversation with these people.
Guys, this outfit is making me want an office job so badly. Like, this office siren aesthetic is incredible. It's making me feel pretty powerful. POV, me walking past your desk like... Oops, I just dropped my pencil. It's amazing.
No, it's not amazing. Sure, it's cute, but is it acceptable to wear into an actual office corporate setting? Absolutely not. Her shirt is a little bit low. Her whole midriff is showing. Her pants are very low. Her butt is defined, which, you know what, that's not a horrible thing, but there are a lot of different factors going into this that make this outfit unacceptable to wear. Plus the whole intention behind wearing this outfit, like me walking by your desk, oops, I gotta pick up something. It's not giving powerful, it's giving you're there to seduce any other person that might be there that you're attracted to, whether that's male or female. And no, this is not acceptable. I don't know if this is satire or not. I'm not good at differentiating that. However, if it is satire, please let me know. But I don't think it is. The next video we're going to watch is how to dress like an office siren trend. I feel like this is just one sound and people were doing their own spins on it. So let's watch this.
How to dress like an office siren. First, start with a fitted blouse, turtleneck, or high neck tank. Next, a pencil skirt or low-waisted fitted trousers. For shoes, a pointed kitten heel.
It's already not okay.
A little undone or down and sleek. The most important part, a pair of rectangular glasses. Work bag is optional, and that's it.
Again, not appropriate. Her shirt is too low. Her midriff is showing. It's not professional. If you didn't know, you could say that she had nothing under her blouse, which is not appropriate for a workplace setting. Again, I don't want this to be me like body shaming women for what they wear. I don't have any problems with this if you're wearing this outside. I personally wouldn't wear it just because I'm a Christian and I don't want to dress that way. I've been there, done that. However, going into an office setting, a professional setting, dressing like this is not okay. I work in retail and we still have dress codes. Like, we aren't allowed to have tights on, or if we have tights on, we have to wear something that covers our butt. There are rules in place, even if it's not an office setting. So the fact that I have rules at my retail job, I can't imagine the guidelines that are in place in these types of jobs. They're probably way higher, and people don't listen to them because it's not trendy. Let's watch another one of these how to dress like an office siren videos. The skirt is way too short. The tights are given a little bit scandalous. Yeah, the only thing I don't think is appropriate about this outfit is the too short skirt. If it was a little bit longer, like above the knee, I feel like that would be appropriate. Maybe. I don't know. But it's too short the way it is. And then the lacy sort of tights or whatever, those are not appropriate. They're given a little bit scandalous, a little bit seductive. But the rest of her outfit isn't bad. I don't see anything wrong with the blouse. She covered her midriff. It wasn't super low. She had a cute camisole on. Just the skirt and the tights were the main issue for me. We're going to watch one more of this How to Dress Like an Office Siren video. And I believe this is the most normal version of this that I've seen that is actually appropriate for the office.
How to dress like an office siren. First, start with a fitted blouse, turtleneck, or high neck tank. Next, a pencil skirt or low-waisted fitted trousers. For shoes, a pointed kitten heel. Put your hair either up and a little undone or down and sleek. The most important part, a pair of rectangular glasses. Work bag is optional, and that's it.
See, that is what is appropriate to wear to an office, not the other scandalous outfits that we've seen. That is the first reasonable outfit I've seen. One that's actually professional, one that's acceptable, one that is appropriate for the workplace.
HR rating your office siren outfits and whether or not you'd get in trouble.
This is really cute. I think if she didn't have the blazer, it probably would be a problem, but no issues with this. This is a really cute fit, really cute outfit, no worries. I would definitely talk to you about the short skirt. I would tell you that you'd have to wear a longer skirt or wear pants or something. Everything else is fine, but that skirt is way too short. You would not get in trouble for this. This is a really cute fit. I think because it flares out, it gives this illusion of being longer than it actually is. And her comment up here right before this one was, HR is gonna send me home for this. I would not. I wouldn't even have a conversation with you. And if someone came up to me and told me that what you were wearing is inappropriate, I would be like, you're joking, right? Like, this is a joke. So I think this is really cute. So the skirt is too short. I would definitely talk to you about your skirt being short. I would probably stop you if I saw you, but I would probably hear about it from other people before I stopped and talked to you about it. So definitely the skirt is way too short and the thigh highs are definitely making it worse, particularly them being visible. I think if that skirt was a couple inches longer, I probably would never say anything. I think it's cute outside of this. Like, I wouldn't wear this to work, but you know, I would wear this. But if that skirt was just like 3 or 4 inches longer, she'd be fine. This is cute, except if you're working in medical device, manufacturing, or if you are in healthcare, you can't wear open-toed shoes. So I would probably have a conversation with her about that. But if it's not any of those environments, then this is super cute and totally fine. So for highly professional environments, this is so cute. I would not talk to anybody about this, honestly. This is something that I could see like law firms, banking, like accounting firms, people wearing this. I think this is so adorable and I think she looks so good.
Now, you might see this trend and be like, we don't actually expect people to dress that way at the office. Well, one person did and they got fired for it.
If you've seen the viral video about the Office Siren outfit and how the girl was fired from her 6-figure job for wearing an Office Siren outfit, I found the comment that the video is referencing. This right here, this person said, we have a college credit paid 25 per hour intern position that goes straight to a 6-figure salary job at graduation. This girl wore an Office Siren outfit day 2 and is immediately fired for it. And yes, we can fire for that. It's in the contract she signed when taking the job. Literally lost a guaranteed $200K comfy job over a leather miniskirt and tube top combo. Oh, this dummy said it's just clothing. Yikes, relax. Huh? There is no reason why you should be wearing a tube top to the office. You could do, or a mini skirt, a leather skirt that's a little longer with some very dark tights. That might be okay. And you have like a turtleneck, but there's no reason for a tube top and a mini skirt. And yes, these companies have the right to fire you for your dress code. Like, I don't understand. You all need to literally get some common sense. This is, you're in a professional setting. It's not the club. It's not the club. Like, office siren wear. Stop letting these influencers who don't work pollute your mind with this trending bullshit that's literally going to get you fired. These people are not you. You don't have the same lifestyle, okay? Like, that's crazy. That tube top and a leather mini skirt. I would have fired her out too. I would have fired her out too. You're a walking HR problem at that point.
Okay, so the video that these creators are featuring is not the girl that got fired from her job, but the comment that they are referencing was on that video. No one can seem to find the original video, which is really unfortunate because I would have loved to see that. But these stitches are the reason why I found out someone was fired, because they actually wore the Office Siren trend to work and then got fired.
You mean to tell me in this here economy, when the price of eggs is rising so much, people are selling cartons of eggs on the corner like it's crack rock, and you are so thirsty to wear a tube top and a mini skirt that you would allow yourself to get fired from a job that would pay you $200,000+ a year because you want to do the Office Siren trend at the job? Because you wanted to be a corporate baddie. People are out here sending off thousands of resumes, going through 5 or 6 rounds of interviewing just to find out that they didn't get the job at all. We couldn't save that outfit for after work. We couldn't save that for a girls' night. We couldn't save that for happy hour. This is what happens when you get the right thing at the wrong time. If you get that blessing before you're ready to receive it, you're gonna blow it. You did all that for likes and views. What about utilities and rent? This reminds me of the girl that went viral last year for showing up for a job interview in some pom-pom shorts. She thought because she put a cardigan on over it, that wouldn't show off the fact that, girl, you still had your yams out. At some point, some of you need to realize that TikTok is not a real place. That there is nothing that should come between you and your money. Because what is the point of doing all the trends if you end up having to do it in a cardboard box because you done lost your job?
Yes, there are naive people on the internet, and I don't want to put all the blame on either party. It takes two to tango. But I seriously think that we should be able to discern what is appropriate and what is inappropriate to wear to our jobs. Having your midriff showing, having a really short skirt on to the point where you can't even bend over without flashing the entire office, those are not appropriate for work, and it should not take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Most of us have gone to school, and most of us had grown up with clothing regulations and clothing restrictions, like tank tops can't be like thinner than 2 of your fingers or things like that. We are not new to clothing policies. They have been around forever. But there are some people who may have never had exposure to that, and so they're seeing this stuff online and then think it's appropriate. Every culture is different. I don't know the background behind the people actually showing up to work like this. Maybe some places don't have the same rules that like my country does or my province does. But a lot of people know, just based on the comments and based on these stitches and all the feedback that is coming after this trend right now, it's not okay to dress like this at the office. We're gonna watch a video right now, which I'm pretty sure is satire, but I just had to put it in here because I found it funny a little bit. I don't think it's real. If it is real, that's really, really unfortunate, but let's watch this together. And I think that this is a really good video, even if it is satire. I'm not a fan of satire content, but sometimes it is good, especially when there are naive people on the internet who might think it's real. This might prohibit them from showing up in an outfit like this. Let's watch this together.
I just got home from a job interview. They told me that I'm not gonna get the job because of my outfit. Okay, let me calm down. This was gonna be my first job, and I prepared. I Googled what to wear to a first interview, you know, and this is basically what came up. Yeah, I mean, I added these because I wanted to like add a little bit of myself, you know, because I wanted to stand out, and I kind of just wanted to kind of be like the Office Siren. Tell me this is an Office Siren. And based on what I saw there, yeah, they were in desperate need of an Office Siren. So I guess the joke's on you.
This is 100% satire, but it is funny. As a newly promoted department manager of my job, which yes, I am the department manager now, which is really exciting. A lot of changes happening, and I just thought to update you. I'm also moving in 2 weeks out of the in-laws house. That's some news I wanted to share with you guys too. So department manager, moving all in the same time frame, trying to film videos still, a lot of change happening, and it's scary. If you have been on my community page or have seen my community posts, I did talk a little bit about change happening. And so I just wanted to update you and tell you that this is what's happening in my life. So anyway, as a department manager who would be hiring for someone to replace my position, I would not consider someone who showed up dressing like this. And obviously she's satire. She didn't actually go to a job interview and show up like this. If someone showed up like that for a job interview, I would not hire them. Because the reason why, no matter how qualified they may be, they don't have the discernment to figure out what is appropriate and what is inappropriate. This outfit would be cute, but she had her midriff showing, which is not professional for like any sort of job. The fishnet tights are also not appropriate. And so when you're hiring someone, you look at their appearance, you look at how they keep themselves, because that's a big indicator into who someone is, how they keep themselves, not just what's on their resume, because sometimes even resumes can be fabricated, but what you can see in front of you is evidence about what is on the resume. So just keep that in mind if you're a young person going into the workforce. Keep in mind that your appearance does matter, not so much your body appearance, but how you keep yourself, your hygiene, your clothing, what you choose to wear, how you would show up to work. That's all important. No office needs an office siren. You are not there to seduce your coworkers. You are there to work your butt off. You are there to contribute to society. You are not there to catch everybody's eye, to flirt with everyone in the office. That is not the purpose of why you went to school to get the job that you did. And if that is the purpose, you need to rethink your life a little bit.
Office siren? I think the of this is because why in this climate, economy, moment would you value being perceived as desirable over financial security?
Yes.
It's concerning and very, very sad. Very, very sad. Very sad.
Jobs are so scarce right now. The economy is really bad. There are teenagers who can't even get fast food jobs because there are no jobs at the moment. And people who do get jobs are throwing them away for no other reason than the fact that they want to be seen as desirable and hot. And this goes into the whole other toxic TikTok trend of hot talk, which we are going to talk about sometime in the future, that really, really pisses me off. Why is it that everyone values hotness over any other characteristic that they may have? Why is the only purpose in life to be hot? I could go on about that, but we're going to save that for another day. But the office siren trend kind of branches from that whole topic. Hot talk is one whole thing, and there are little aesthetics that kind of all connect together to be hot and desirable. That is not the purpose of one's life, to be desirable and hot and attract the same sex or the opposite sex. That's not the point. And the fact that people are willingly throwing this away for that reason is very sad, like that person said. So let's get into what the actual issues are with this trend, because it's a lot more than just fashionable choices. There's so much wrong with this trend. You might think it's harmless, just some TikTok trend, but it's not harmless. The reality is it's reinforcing some pretty dangerous ideas of what professionalism is. First one, which we've talked about, is misleading about what's actually appropriate for work. In most offices, business casual or professional attire is designed to keep the focus on what you're doing, your work, and not what you're wearing. But with the office siren trend, this whole idea is getting pretty warped. You're not seeing realistic office wear like well-tailored blouses, fitted pants, or simple skirts, but instead you're seeing people dress in revealing, tight clothing that would be seen as unprofessional or even distracting in most work environments. In real life offices, unless you're in a creative or fashion-driven field, and keep that in mind, there are definitely places for this type of attire, but most workplaces expect a certain level of modesty and professionalism, which this trend flat out ignores. People are being sold the idea that if you wear tight-fitted clothing and revealing clothing, that will somehow make you stand out in the right way, and it won't. It's misleading, and for many, it could even lead into some uncomfortable situations that end up with a meeting with HR. The second reason, it encourages inappropriate behaviors in a professional setting. The videos often glamorize the idea of flirting or using physical appearance to get attention in the workplace, when that should never really be the focus. You're not supposed to walk into an office like you're strutting down a runway or trying to seduce the boss, yet these videos show women flipping their hair, giving some come hither looks, and acting like their entire career success hinges on their sex appeal, and this is such a slippery slope. It's almost like we're going backwards in time. In a real office environment, if someone were to walk in dressed like this and acting like they're the star of a rom-com, it's not going to get you promoted. It's going to get you fired. It's going to make people uncomfortable, and in the worst case scenario, it could lead to harassment or worse. Finally, the last point I'm going to get into today is the fact that this trend pushes the dangerous idea that power in the workplace comes from being sexy or appealing, rather than being skilled, hardworking, and competent. Dressing like an office siren may get you some attention, but it will not get you a promotion. It's not just as simple as fashion. This trend has a ripple effect on how people see themselves in the workplace and how they think they need to behave in order to succeed. It's misleading, it encourages inappropriate conduct, and it undermines the value of real skills over appearances. 99% of the outfits that we're seeing in this trend would not fly in actual normal office workplaces. Unless you are in an industry that promotes this kind of wear, it's not going to work for you. I get it, fashion is fun, dressing up is fun, but let's not confuse a TikTok aesthetic with the reality of an actual workplace. The office siren trend is cute for social media, but it's not empowering, and it's definitely not how you gain real success in the workplace. But what do you think? Do you see this trend as empowering or just another unrealistic social media fantasy? Let me know in the comments. God bless you all, and until next time.